Well, if I was playing, there'd be a lot more. Every time we died, one of these shows up.
How many times did we die? Not important. This is the end, puppers. This is the end to I Am Setsuna. Everybody dies. So basically, Dark Samsara has escaped to the past. We don't have the space-time Sprite Knight, so we can't go after him. So we're stuck here at the end of the world.
Setsuna.
So like what happens next is actually pretty interesting. It actually ties in like a very common game mechanic into the story.
Okay.
Which I thought was pretty clever. But now we're kind of talking to everyone just like, we're out of options.
What do you think we should do? I don't know. What do you think we should do?
I know that feeling, IDR. So that aura in the middle, we've seen them throughout the game as the save points, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're also little teleporters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's their trail of magical energy.
Yep. The save points have been a trail of magical energy that we can use to rewind time.
Okay.
So it's kind of like this like meta response of just like, hey, when you die in battle, you rewound time back to your save point to continue forward. It's like it gives kind of like a game mechanic that's usually just like, hey, this is for the player.
For the save
but
points.
in the story, it's just like, hey, this is actually what the save points do, which I thought was pretty clever.
Well, if I was playing, there'd be a lot more. Every time we died, one of these shows up.
How many times did we die? Not important.
I know. Turns the lights out. Like,
how many game overs have you gotten in Ys?
None.
None?
Mm-mm.
Oh my.
I haven't game overed in Ys. I think Ys makes it very easy to not game over.
Okay. Well, for Ys, you have to lose all the characters, not just Adol, right?
Right.
So it's not like Adol dies.
Because, like,
game
I've
over.
definitely come close to losing all of my characters in battle, but, like, pulled through right at the last minute.
Okay.
But I also have so many things that help heal them.
Okay.
That it's very difficult to lose your entire team.
Gotcha. And do you conserve items or be like, gotta save this for a rainy day? Or are you just like, pop another one, Donna, here we go?
It depends on the item.
Okay.
So, like, there's these little Kerberry things that they are a revive, but they also give you health. And all you just, like, hit the trees, and they fall out of the trees.
Okay.
So they're very easy to collect, so I use them pretty liberally.
Okay.
Because I know, like, I can just go back and hit a tree and, you know, get more. It's the same with the coconuts. Like, coconuts give you health points.
Okay.
And you just have to go to the beach, and there's always coconuts laying everywhere. So you can just kind of, like, grind for those types of items.
Okay. So what's happening, aside from the plane flying above the house, is everyone's giving their Sprite Knight to Setsuna and IDR. Because they're the only two that can travel to the past. Because they're the only two that can see the portal.
Good luck. Hope y'all die peacefully.
I never got to tell her the truth.
I know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay. All right, there we go.
It's a very Sailor Moon-esque moment.
We're all ready. To the past.
Princess Serenity, I give you my power.
It's very common in stories.
Yeah.
My power. Use my power. Soul Steel. And it's just like, well, we're fucked.
Yeah.
All of our hope lies with those two.
Where are we?
We're in the past.
It's snowing, but
Island
warm.
in the past. So we can trek around a little bit, but there's not too much we can do.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward. But there's also kind of like a sepia tone to give you kind of like a, this is kind of like, yeah, the past.
The times of yore.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no shops are open. You can't cook any more recipes. We're just here to conclude the story. And this one coming up is your favorite battle.
Yes.
All right, so when we get to that moment, I'll give you the mic and be like, take it away.
Yeah, I'll explain why it's my favorite battle. Just because before it's difficult because spoilers.
Mm-hmm. It goes by really quick, I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a short one, but...
It's not so much as a battle as a statement.
Okay. All right, so we're in Nye Village. Papa. So now I'm wondering where in the past this is.
Well, it would have had to be before Setsuna because he doesn't know who she is.
Exactly, yeah. He doesn't recognize her, so I'm wondering like where in the past this was. Because like it had to have been...
I feel like it would be...
like right before she was born? Or maybe she's just a child?
Yeah. Either that or like...
Because, like, her father's alive, but her father doesn't recognize her.
So it wouldn't make sense because my initial thought was like, oh, well, it would be the time of, like, the first sacrifice. Or, like, when Dark Samsara became Dark Samsara.
And that would make sense if it weren't for her father.
Yeah. But his father's the only hitch there of, like, dude, you wouldn't be born yet.
Because, like, initially, I thought it was, like, right before her journey began. When you first came on the island. But
he would have recognized her.
Exactly. He would have recognized her. So I'm just like, where exactly are we? And there's no random encounters. Which also supports, like, Dark Samsara hasn't become Dark Samsara yet because the monsters haven't appeared. So it's not really explained.
Yeah, that's kind of like
left
a
up
little
to interpretation.
loophole there, but...
Mm-hmm. We go to the Fallen Snow Monument. And this is the true Samsara.
Mm-hmm. This is a waste of time. The whole scene is so pretty, though.
Uh-oh.
Let's let him go.
I wasn't going to choose that.
Endir, what are you thinking, bro?
This is it. All right, so this is your favorite battle.
Yes.
Take the stage.
So I think it's just because, again, it's not much of a battle. He doesn't fight back.
Yes, he does. He's just
but it's like
pretty weak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not... Because you almost see like the childishness of him being like, I'm never going to forgive like the people that did this. And then coming to the realization of like, am I a freak?
Yeah.
And like, am I the bad guy? Like,
yeah.
Like not fully understanding what he'd done.
Mm-hmm.
And then
there's no music.
There's no music. So it's like every single sound that there is completely amplified.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just like feel this sadness from the character. And I mean, we were talking about this with Blue Exorcist, but I am such a sucker for like this type of the bad guy doing bad things but not fully understanding.
Yeah.
And then like coming to terms with what they've done.
And that can work.
Yeah.
Oh, this is also blue.
Yes.
He goes off a blue aura.
So and it's like Setsuna essentially takes Dark Samsara and it's like, well, we're one now, so when I die, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that it's like, to me, it's so melancholic, but also just meaningful.
Yeah. Well, this also brings everything full circle.
Yeah. So like this is where they first met.
Mm-hmm. But like when you first met, you were given that option to like swing your sword or not.
Yeah. And
in this
you're
moment,
given
you
the
have
same
to do this
option
as well.
of like swing your sword or don't.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to fulfill my promise.
So I'm like, you don't get to see it, so don't, you know.
You hear it.
You do hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But just like everything, it's so sad, but everything else about it isn't sad.
Okay.
So like we go through the whole game of all these cool toned colors and, you know, a lot of blue and white and silver and gray. And like in these final moments, look at it. Like the sun is shining, it's setting, but it's shining. Everything is very warm. And it just, even though it's sad, it gives you the complete feeling of finality. Like the story is finished.
Yep.
And I just think that that's a really cool thing to achieve in a game during like a quote final battle.
Nice.
So I would say I think that's why it's my favorite is it's shifted so much from the rest of the game without breaking the vibe. Okay. Of like, because you feel sad and sorrowful throughout the whole thing, but there's still like little moments of funny things like Kerr and Eterna being sassy and all this shit. But you don't have that in those final moments. It's very serious, but the entire environment is very warm.
Okay. No, very good. I agree. I like it. It's not one of my favorite battles, but I can definitely see why it would be yours.
It's difficult to call it like my favorite battle because I don't really see it as a battle.
Okay.
I think in the game, the Eterna with the Time Lord is like my favorite
is your
battle.
Favorite boss battle? Okay.
But like that's my favorite moment in the game. Okay. Is the very end when it's like, am I a freak? And then she just like hugs him and is like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to be
alone.
Yeah.
Yep. And now Eterna's gone too because it's been fulfilled. Yep. Eterna no longer exists.
Sadness.
She can finally sleep.
Sleep now.
So now everyone goes their separate ways.
Yeah.
It's a very common RPG where like everyone in your party like does their own thing and you get to see little snippets of like the journey after and like what they're up to. Yeah. And then that's basically it. So we did it. I Am Setsuna is complete. Yes. We get to see like this part. I understand like there's no dialogue, but I wish at this part there would be.
See, I don't know. Because you have the stand-in
father.
father.
Those are her daddies.
Yeah, you have the stand-in father, the man who stepped up and became a father to a child that's not his, and the actual father coming in to be like, I'm sorry you lost your daughter. And you get that from the movement where it's like the comforting gesture of like putting your hand on a shoulder. So I think that's what I wish they did in Stranger Things. Like that there wasn't this big long speech, but just like a simple act that shows
the
what you
thing.
mean, where it's like just the like I'm sorry moment, and like we know that those are her fathers, her biological father, and then the father who raised her. So I think that moment, I don't think it needed.
Okay.
I think it would be okay if it had dialogue, but I don't think it was
So you would have
required.
preferred a one final moment between an IDR and Setsuna.
Yes.
Not just closure on like the situation, whether it's.
I think I would have much rather
adopt a father or not. You just prefer that scene to be with Setsuna.
I think I would have much rather had him at least tell her like, "I'm your daddy," like I'm your father. You know, that moment.
Okay.
I don't know, because it works either way.
Okay. And we end the game the same way we started it. Wandering through the endless snow.
I feel like Endear's just like, God damn it, I'm so sick of this shit. Like,
I figure it's just like a job's a job.
I know.
Next time I want to get paid.
But one thing that
because he went back in time, so like all that money he got.
Yeah. Like, God damn it. But I think one thing that you discovered actually is if you choose not to kill Setsuna, she kills herself, I believe, and her shadow is not by the tree.
Yeah.
But if you kill her, then her shadow shows up near the tree, like in the artwork.
So that's I Am Setsuna. Final thoughts.
I like it. I like this game.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite game.
Okay.
But I do really enjoy the story. I really like the
I like
artwork.
that they committed to an idea and a theme.
Yes.
Like, it can seem odd of just like, oh, it's all in the snow, but they commit to it. Yeah. And they make it unique. And they make it work.
I think that it makes it very cohesive because there are some times in games where it's confusing because it's like, oh, we're in a rainforest. Boom, now we're in a desert. Where the fuck are we that there's a rainforest and a desert right next to each other? Sometimes it can be a little too outlandish.
Gotcha.
Whereas this one, I feel like it is very cohesive. They're in one area. They're fighting for one area.
Yep.
And it's like they didn't need all of these extra things to show that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do think it could have been a little bit more diverse with like the monsters you fight.
Okay.
Because like certain areas, it's like you fought those little snakes how many times, how frequently.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit tedious in that aspect. But I really love the little tidbit of, you know, putting in the 8-bit scene and everyone getting to say their thank yous.
The little Easter egg.
Yeah. Getting to say thank you in that way. I thought that was really cool. But no, I really enjoyed this game.
Alrighty. So this was also made by Square Enix, who worked on Trials of Mana and many other RPGs. Their big flagship franchises are Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Dragon Quest.
Okay.
Those are their big three. But they also do so many other RPGs. Yeah. And sometimes they branch out into other genres, but like the cream of the crop is the RPGs. Yeah. They are like the RPG kings, basically. The Disney of RPGs. Let's go with that. Like the big corporate RPGs. Yeah. And this was one where like they got a small studio together, Tokyo RPG Factory. Those are the developers. They got together and they said, we want to make an RPG that echoes the days of old. Yeah. The old, like, again, Chrono Trigger, early Final Fantasies. And this is it. This is the final moment. The artwork. Yeah. Which was literally the first thing I saw of I Am Setsuna was this artwork. And I was like,
I heard the music first, and then
I saw footage.
I saw the artwork, and I was like, wow, that's really, really beautiful. And then you were like, yeah, it doesn't look like that in the game, though. And I was like, that's okay. I think that their little models are really cute.
Mm-hmm.
But...
And hang on. Oh.
The little snowflake drops, and there she is.
Yep. All right, puppers. We'll see you guys in the next playthrough. Thank you for watching. I am Setsuna.
Toodles!